What's up BTS, it's your host Michaela and I'm here to break down the top 10 times DC actor Ezra Miller should have gone to prison. At number 10 we have the April 2020 footage surveillance leak which showed Ezra reportedly choking a woman at a bar. Reported by Variety at the time, there was a short video floating on the internet depicting a person firstly identified as a quote source at the bar to be Ezra. Apparently the video reveals Ezra seemingly strangling a woman before they tossed her to the ground. Coverage of the clip initially brought about confusion on Twitter because the original tweet, which has since been deleted, was surrounded by claims from several women saying the unidentified subject appeared to be laughing in the video. However, the source from Variety explained things oppositely, going as far as to say that the situation was a serious encounter and how Ezra was escorted from the supposedly heated scene. The same source also detailed that the alleged incident was caused by a group of pushy supporters of Ezra who eventually confronted them at the Iceland area bar. At number 9 we have Ezra's multiple alleged altercations in Hawaii between March and May of this year. Ezra's first report of being locked up came from regional outlet Hawaii News Now in March, where they were arrested on charges of disorderly conduct and harassment. The incident supposedly involved a few Silva Street patrons being roped into Ezra's erratic violence. Hawaiian police stepped forward with claims that Ezra was agitated due to the karaoke-related events that took place in the establishment. Reportedly, Ezra not only tried to harm those involved in the altercation, but also shouted obscenities at them. In the same month, Ezra busted into the bedroom of two people who were allegedly granted a temporary restraining order against the actor. The Associated Press confirmed and further reported that Ezra was later charged with harassment. However, the prosecutors dropped the charge as part of a plea deal alongside an unrelated traffic charge. For the latter month, the restraining order was also dropped, but this didn't stop Ezra from being arrested again in the sunny state on the grounds of suspicion of assault. For this incident, Ezra was accused of throwing a chair in a mid-20-year-old woman's head, also mentioned in the 911 call released by TMZ. At number 8 we have Ezra's accusations of an 18-year-old activist. In June of this year, legal documents obtained by TMZ disclose how the alleged victim, Tokata Iron Eyes, was reportedly prepped by Ezra according to their parents' suspicions. This hasn't fully been disclosed, however we did gain insight from TMZ that the teen apparently met the actor in 2016 at North Dakota's Standing Rock Reservation. If the claims of Takota's parents are true, Ezra was 23 and Tokata was 12 at the time. The activist's parents detailed how the two grew into an eventual friendship, and how Ezra even flew Tokata out to London in 2017 to visit the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them sets as they filmed. Their parents also suggested that Ezra made the decision for Tokata to be a non-binary transgender who would go by a new name of Gibson. At this point, Tokata would have been 14. Tokata's parents further accused Ezra of illegally providing their daughter with alcohol and hard substances while they were underage. When Tokata dropped out of their Massachusetts private school, their parents provided Ezra with the blame for this as well. According to them, Ezra dropped by their Vermont home in January to see Tokata, who they also claimed had bruises and was missing their driver's license, bank cards, and car keys. The legal documents stated that Ezra often resorted to violence, manipulation, and intimidation to sway Tokata as a young adolescent, adding that they had shown quote cult-like controlling behavior. A judge has since signed a protective order which prevented Ezra from contacting the family, but it hasn't been served yet as the authorities have no clue of the family's whereabouts. Still, there is a hearing scheduled for July 12th. In response, Tokata's father explained to Newsweek about how he feared Ezra's quote state of mind and debates if they'll lash out at them for their cautionary measures. However, Tokata released an Instagram post later which denied their parents' claims, followed by a shared video to confirm their statement. Quote, "I dropped out 5 months ago. My friend William passed shortly thereafter. My mind was incredibly impacted and I've needed space and time for the processing of grief. My comrade Ezra Miller, for the entirety of the aforementioned era, has not only provided loving support and invaluable protection throughout this period of loss. My father and his allegations hold no weight and are frankly transphobic, based in the notion that I am somehow incapable of coherent thought or opposing opinions to those of my own kindred, worrying about my well-being. I am now aware of the severity of emotional and psychological manipulation I was made to endure while in my parents' home." At number 7 we have the 12-year-old who was granted an order of protection against Ezra in June 2022. The Massachusetts-based child and their mother were approved of a temporary arrangement against the actor after alleging that Ezra threatened their family with a weapon in the home of their neighbors, as well as behaved inappropriately towards the reportedly non-binary child. The mother explained in a Daily Beast interview how things became heated when she described her friend group as her tribe, which allegedly allegedly prompted Ezra to deem her words as cultural appropriation. Apparently there was also an argument about a board game stemming from Rastafarian roots with the neighbor whose racial description is half black. Reportedly it was at this point where the party claimed Ezra began shouting obscenities in her face and suggested they had no idea what they were saying. The neighbor also recalled being caught off guard, especially when Ezra apparently opened up their Sherpa jacket to reveal a concealed weapon with the words, "Talking like that could get you in a really serious situation." Further, according to the neighbor, Ezra then turned to the child and began talking about how he held great power over them and how lucky they would have been to have Ezra as a guidance. In response, the child later detailed to the publication, "They automatically were just weirdly drawn to me and kept talking about how they love my outfit and love my style. It was uncomfortable. I was really nervous. I was scared to be around them after they'd yelled at my mother and she was crying." At number 6, we have reports of Ezra supposedly forcing a mother and 3 children to live on an unsafe farm. In June of this year, Ezra was supposedly caught housing a 25-year-old mom and her 3 children between the ages of 1 to 5 at their Vermont farm. Apparently they introduced themselves in Hawaii and had been staying there as early as April, but the living arrangement sparked concern in the young children's father, with 2 additional sources stepping forward to claim the farm is an unsafe environment for kids. They claim there are unattended weapons around the property, with one even saying the baby allegedly picked up a loose bullet and put it in her mouth. However, the mother has claimed Ezra has helped her and her kids' removal from the quote, violent and X, while also providing a safe environment for her children. The supposed sanctuary was described by the mom as being a healing haven for her and her kids. The mother even alleged that the firearms are stored for self-defense and her kids cannot access them, rather that her children are able to relax with the knowledge of quote safety and nurturing Ezra has been providing for them. At number 5, we have the Berlin incident, where Ezra was accused of mishandling a woman named Nadia. Nadia threw Ezra under the bus with claims of harassment who, according to her, happened after Ezra was invited to her Germany apartment in February 2022. Nadia described her 2-year friendship with the actor, but reportedly they failed to meet in person prior to one consensual romantic encounter in 2020. Following this, Ezra reportedly flipped out in February when the two were informed they were unable to smoke inside the home. Apparently, this is where Ezra lost it, and Nadia described telling Ezra to leave multiple times, only for them to begin hurling insults at her. While on this name-calling spiel, Nadia recalled Ezra also walking through her apartment, spreading tobacco leaves on the floor and touching everything in their path, leaving Nadia feeling intruded and disgusting. According to Nadia, it took Ezra an approximate half hour to dip, and when he did, Nadia explained feeling as if she would be physically attacked and felt unsafe overall. Nadia later filed a criminal complaint, which has since been dropped due to Ezra leaving the country. At number 4, we have the sources who claimed Ezra's paranoia in regards to the FBI and supremacist hate group are dangerous. A freshly published insider piece from August of this year dived deep into Ezra's supposed mental health issues, including comments from a number of anonymous sources who expressed utter concern for the actor's well-being. One source claimed it's hard for them to take action against Ezra when they have so many resources. Another said Ezra has been cruising around the States with at least one gun and a bulletproof vest on deck. Additionally, there are allegations that Ezra has grown paranoid of the potential of being stalked by the FBI or Triple K clan. This comes following their social media sharing of a video targeting a North Carolina chapter of the hate group. In this same report, there are further allegations that Ezra's 2020 Iceland stay included an Airbnb rental that would later become criticized, with locals expressing concerns over supposed cult-esque behavior. At number 3, we have Ezra reportedly being an on-set hazard. It's no secret that Warner Bros. Rumoredly held an emergency meeting due to Ezra's behavior, and their impromptu meetup was apparently made to discuss the actor's future with their studio in revelation of their many arrests. A Rolling Stone source dished that Warner Bros. Initially decided to quote hit pause on any future project involving Miller, including possible appearances in the DC cinematic universe. The insider also spoke with the magazine more about the actor's apparent frequent meltdowns and claimed that while The Flash was still in production that year, Ezra was losing it. However, the same source also said that their meltdowns weren't violent, but that Ezra would think of certain things and lose themselves over the fact that they had no idea what they were doing at the time. Despite, there was another source who informed IndieWire that apparently no meeting was ever held in regards to this. At number 2, we have the mix of scandals that has landed Ezra in their current situation, which is all of their run-ins with the law. Variety was one of the many information outlets who surrounded the topic of the Fantastic Beasts premiere, where they explained how Ezra, alongside Johnny Depp, who was also in deep controversy at the time, over the results of his messy defamation trial were complicating the rollout for the series. This is all in light of Ezra's return to the films from their last two entries, where studio officials behind the sequel's release were reportedly more or less forced to back down on any previous plans around promotions and headlining Ezra's presence. The reason for this was Ezra's Hawaii troubles that fell in the same month, and so their constant scandals, which they should be in prison for, along with Johnny's untimely spiral, quickly caused massive headaches for promotions. As a result, Johnny was soon removed from his role due to his ex-wife's AB allegations against him. At number 1, we have the one thing that Ezra should be, and most likely will actually be in prison for, and that is their burglary indictment. They were hit with this charge most recently earlier this month when Vermont State Police made the announcement that the actor had been arraigned for burglary involving a residence in Vermont that had several alcohol beverages stolen while the homeowners were away, apparently by Ezra. The investigation soon tied Ezra to the involvement of the crime, and as per police, there was included surveillance footage as well as witness statements to back claims up. On the 7th of this month, Ezra was issued a citation to make a court appearance with a date of September 26. That concludes today's BTS. Again, I've been your host, Michaela, and I'll see you all again really soon.